Welcome to our Georgia Suburban Homestead Chit Chat. Actually, what I'm going to be doing is crafting while we chit chat. So you'll get to hear me use colorful language when I'm okay. I just got a notification that I'm live. That's nice to know I'm live, huh? So everyone say hello. Click that link if you want to come up on the screen with me and um, talk about your week or your last 2 weeks. I had more exciting surgery last Friday, the day before my birthday. And I find out on the 14th if I need even more exciting surgery. So much for going back to work. I don't know if I'm having a bad reaction to all the medicine they have me on or whatever, but I'm developing sores that need to be surgically, what do they call it? Lanced. And in some places we won't talk about. But doctor says don't do any exercise or anything that would irritate it. So such is life around here, and I'm getting ready to listen to all these alerts. I'm trying to get ready to start back on my weekend craft pop-up markets. First one's going to be the 14th of September. Yay, Xander. Welcome. Suzanne, love you, dear. Thank you. Everyone give Suzanne, our moderator, a good hand of appreciation. She and Charlie are moderators. We lost Mike from Mike's Chaotic Gardening. Maybe he'll come back. I hope he'll come back because I miss him. Anyway, can you guess what this is? Want to see what I've been up to since I've been sidelined again? How many of you out there are craftspeople? No, that's not a stick. That reminds me of a story, not a stick. We had a really, really big windstorm in the backyard. How long ago was that, Charlie?
3 or 4 years.
3 or 4 years ago. And the trees in our backyard dropped limbs. So Charles went out with his little wheelbarrow and was picking up sticks. And he bent over to grab a stick and it moved. It was a copperhead. And he said to himself out loud, not a stick.
Not a stick.
So now when we're in the backyard and he yells, not a stick, I know there's a copperhead there. Oh, Xander knew that. We bend this around and weave it together, and there's the cat at the window, babe. And wave our hand over it, and it turns into that. So that's a ring. Xander, do you like dragon eyes? Does that look like a dragon eye to you? So let me see, I'll put some of these on that I've been making. Those are all eyes. I made a bunch of them. Let's see. Yeah, but I need to make a lot more. Because people like a choice. They like to be able to paw through things and look at them. And I'm learning new techniques all the time. This is not an eye. And I don't know if you could see the weave on the band. And then we've got this woven band. I don't know, what do y'all, do you like the thick weaving or the thin, tight weaving for a ring band? What do you think? What do you think? And then I have ones with no weaving that are just, the only thing that's not natural are the resin eyeballs that I've made. And the others are beads or varying varying materials, metals, semi-precious stones. Yeah. You want to come over, Xander, and help me? So there's a link. I don't know how to pin a link to the top. Suzanne, do you know how to do that? Do you see the link I posted? That's for anyone who wants to come up on the panel and talk about what you've been doing. Any challenges? I did a necklace that'll, should hang. I don't know if you see that. Got a little bee hanging in it, looks like with the sunshine. I'm working on Christmas tree. The hanger will go here at the top. And if I can make two that are close to identical, they'll be earrings. If I can't, they're pendants. And some are getting crosses for Christmas, and others will get colorful beads. You're frying, as in cooking, no air conditioning. Oh, you're melting then, because you're made of sugar, right? But I've done little star earrings. It's hard to hold them up. I've got them pinned down, and some things not on this container here. So who in the audience are craftspeople? And if so, oh, okay. I click on the comment. Pin message. There we go. Suzanne, what would I do without you? I'm going to send Suzanne a piece of jewelry just because she's so much help. Would you like a ring or a pendant, Suzanne? Do you wear any jewelry? Can you see in the blurred background the animals running around?
No.
You just came back in. What's your trouble?
Want to see the dogs go crazy? Okay. He's grabbing his squeaky and he's going into the living room. Oh, you gonna squeak? Oh! He loves his squeaky toy. So Suzanne's melting as well. So to make a ring, and if you all would like to see me do a how-to video on this, I'm not really good at it yet. You measure your ring size and you cut, just to begin with, 2 wires like the 8 or 9 inches long, and you measure your ring size and you cut like a piece of string or something, depending upon what size you're using. And you need one of these things, which is a looks like something you pick your nose with, but it's an actual ring mandrel. And you measure your ring size for where it falls, and then you'll weave. You'll either just go ahead and bend it around the mandrel to get that shape, or you weave that length of for the band in the center of your, that's like 8.5 inches. I like to give myself a little extra to work with. Okay, so Sam wants a pendant. You want a an eyeball pendant, or do you want something that's prettier? You even ordered more pliers. What kind of wire work do you think you'll do, Suzanne? You want to come up on the screen? We've got our air conditioning set to what, Charlie? Almost 80. And we keep it there during the summer. We're kind of upside down. We keep the house at about 80 during the summer and 68, 67, or 65 to 68 in the winter. But I'm going to have to really get a move on making my resin stuff, and I hope people will buy it. I know they'll buy my jams and Charlie's honey. We had a fairly good harvest. Are you done harvesting honey, babe?
Yeah.
How many gallons did we get this year?
About 10.
Okay, we got 10 gallons of honey this year. And that's with 2 hives that were new, so we didn't harvest from them. And God willing, everything will make it through the winter, and we'll have 7 hives next year. So how many did you end up harvesting from? 4, right? So you should get 12 to 14 gallons next year if we have a good nectar flow.
Yeah, it was pretty good nectar flow this year.
Hi, DJ. Thanks for coming in. We're just chit-chatting. I've got a link up top if you want to come up on the screen with me. So far, I don't have anyone in the green room, so come on, be brave. Yeah, I've got 2 mandrels. The first one had kind of a square cut out of it, Suzanne, on either side. And I found it didn't give me round rings. So let's see what size this is going to be. And I'm just going to bend that around. And you see where the weaving ends? You want it to just about touch. So this size ring, excuse me while I bend. And you want to leave yourself a little bit of flat area. So this is going to be for a small finger. And again, I am basically learning weaving techniques, and the trick to working with wire is not to kink it while you're weaving with it and to keep the tension equal. It's not as easy as the tutorials make it look. So this will probably be a pinky ring. So right now it's right between a 4 and a 5. So you see how that's nice and round? And then you've got a little bit of open space. So I have weaving wire. This was 20 gauge round, dead soft. When you work with wire, you want to work with dead soft wire. It's easier to work with. I've got some half hard that's difficult, but I'm finding that the dead soft is really what you want. And this is 18 gauge round, and this is 22 gauge round. A lot of people recommend using 26 or 28 gauge, and as the numbers go up, the wire gets finer. But I find I don't like the way the really, really small stuff looks. So then I just want to, what do I want to do? Now I'm forgetting what to do. Oh, we want to secure the wire. So I'm going through one side, then the other. So while I'm fiddling around here, what have y'all been doing since we last saw each other? Anybody having any fun at all? Suzanne, you really want to get, it's called a flesh nipper from Amazon. I think I paid $5 or $6. It's got a very fine pointed tip to it, and it's a lot better, a lot nicer to work with than the nippers you get with your set of pliers. Ready to show you that again? Amazon. See how pointed that is? It's really sharp. I only paid between $5 and $6 for it. You'll thank me, Suzanne, if you just go ahead and get one. If you're going to be, even if you're just playing with this, it is a better nipper than what you'll get in the jewelry sets. I promise you. So, and when you nip your wires, you always want to nip them so the end is going to be covered by your stone or able to tuck into your design. And then you press it down with, it's another tip, chainmail pliers, which don't come in the set that you get. So I bought a couple of sets. One I use with my resin to actually trim and bend resin around, and one I'm doing with the wire. And the cat's back at the window. What kind of problem did you have with your rummage sale? Yeah, you said that before, DJ. I don't know what your first channel is. My brain doesn't work right, so I'm glad you're here no matter what name you're using. Do you do any crafting? So what kind of problems were you having, Xander? Don't forget thumbs up, guys. It helps the algorithm. Help me grow this channel. You can hit that link at the top of the screen and come up and join me. So who wants to help me pick out a pretty bead? Let's see, I got a whole box of beads here. Now, just to remind you, this is copper. Does jade look good with copper? There's black with a strange band around it. That's interesting. Hey, John. John is Charlie's brother. Say hi to your brother, babe.
Hey.
He goes, hey. Oh, come on, get excited. It's the first time he's come in.
Oh, it is John. Hi.
It is John. He says hi, but we call him Charlie. They don't know him by David. That looks like blue jeans to me. Y'all give some opinions. Here's some kind of olive jade. That needs something sparkling on its sides. I think. John, do you do any crafts? You know, your brother does beautiful woodworking.
It's all right.
What do you do? John, I'm trying to pick out beads to make this ring with, John. I think I found it. Alrighty. See what y'all think of this. This is I don't know what you call it, a spacer bead. The bead I chose, I'm sliding it over the top of this little weaving wire. I moved from Florida, DJ. And I think the whole time we lived in Florida, I may have gone to the beach a dozen times, maybe?
Maybe.
In 20 years. I don't really like the beach. Charlie used to scuba dive before he developed Meniere's disease, which is severe vitiligo, and you don't need that if you're underwater.
Vertigo.
I'm sorry, vitiligo. So, what do y'all think of that color combination? Is that pretty? So which beach did you go to, GJ? Kayak. Charlie's been wanting a kayak. We could go kayak around Stone Mountain Lake. It's about my speed. Lots of people around to pull you out of the water if you pull what I call a Lisa and spill over into the water. But I don't know if my health right now is going to allow me to do that. Finger Lake State Park on the outside of Columbia, Missouri. I've been to the Finger Lakes up in Upper New York. So John, bro, what have you been doing? How's your garden this year? Y'all, Charlie and John are from northern Alabama up around Huntsville. They grew up on a farm in a farming family. Dad worked at Redstone Arsenal.
For NASA.
For NASA. Really highly educated farm folk. John served in the military. I think it was Air Force, wasn't it, John?
Yep.
I'm telling all your secrets, John. You don't want me to, tell me shut. John went quiet. Not too good? Is that an answer to the question on your gardening? So, yeah. Oh, we're about to be visited here. You're stepping in my water? Don't step in my water. This is Charlie's cat. Maurice. Oh, I see what we're going to do. He doesn't want me to craft, so he's going to sit in my craft basket. You know the rule with cats, if I fits, I sits, right? Is it too lumpy with all the equipment in there? Why don't you go see your daddy? Fur baby. Yeah.
Hi. How you doing there, Maurice?
So someone talk to me. Come on up on the panel.
Ouch. Do not bite. No. Maurice is bored.
Not able to do much work anymore. Are you getting feeble like we are, Johnny? Charlie, your brother says he's not able to do much work anymore.
I understand that.
He says he can understand that, John. John's the older brother, y'all. He's ancient. How much older is John than you, Charles?
I don't know.
John, Charlie doesn't know how much older you are than he is. You guys.
Probably about 4 years.
4 years older? Charlie's the baby. Charlie's the baby. So with my health issues, I haven't been able to do the gardening that I usually do. So we've kind of Charlie's one person. He's got to take care of me and the house and the yard and he really is a saint. But you can't really keep everything going, you know. We need another. At least we see how much work I did do around here, huh, babe?
Yep.
And if you follow the channel, and I hope you do, you know that we're building a brick pizza oven in the backyard. So he needs to work on that. If it doesn't rain First we complained because we were too dry. We had a drought, and now we're complaining because it's raining every afternoon. But we'll probably work on that again this weekend, God willing.
I went to Publix today to get some food. When I came out of Publix, the water was nearly 6 inches deep.
Can you hear him? You all hear Charlie? He's talking to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, John says a heart attack will do that to you. John, did you have a heart attack?
Yes, he had a heart attack and 3 strokes.
He had a heart attack and 3 strokes?
That's what he's saying.
Wow. I don't remember all that, John. Let's hope your brother stays healthy. He really is a godsend. Your mama did a good job with Charlie. His name's Charlie, not David.
Charles David.
Charles David, is that how she used to call you? You knew you were in trouble? Yeah, John's my favorite brother-in-law. Do you know that, John, that you're my favorite brother-in-law? He says he's 68, Charles.
3 years.
So your mom was busy for a few years. So anyway, back to the garden. We have pretty good harvest of beans. This is the first year we've done like string bean type varieties. We did like 3 types of varieties. Charlie says that his mom, and you can verify this, John, fed them string beans almost every night growing up. So the first 41 years of our marriage, he wouldn't eat them. And if I even suggested them for dinner, they're one of my favorite vegetables, he'd make such faces I never really cooked them. So now that I'm getting older, I'm like, why did I give up one of my favorite vegetables? So we grew beans, and all of a sudden he's like, oh, these are pretty good. So evidently his mom had one way of preparing them, which he didn't appreciate. And I cook them several different ways. We've really gotten so we enjoy fava beans. Anybody out there eat fava beans? I know, with a little bit of garlic and a glass of Chianti, right? But Hannibal Lecter was right. They're really good. Okay. So while we've been talking, I made this strange looking thing. A pinky ring for someone. DJ is asking, should he leave potatoes until the fall? John, when should you harvest your potatoes? You're a potato grower. When should you harvest potatoes? Anyone chime in? Well, there you go. If you see reflect on light, that's Charlie. That's Charlie, Xander. So Xander says when the vines start drying, of course, if you leave them in the ground, they just start growing again. One thing we forgot to grow this year was sweet potato.
I thought about it, but it takes up so much room.
Yeah. Well, we decided to take down our hugelkultur beds, which were those, if you think back to my videos, the tall red beds that come up about hip height in back, because they, I figured that the logs in them, if you're familiar with the hugelkultur technique, it's a German technique where you put logs from trees and branches and sticks, and then you add a little bit of mud or soil, and you don't have to fertilize or feed your garden that's grown on that, and it retains water, but it compressed. So after this heart attack, I got thinking, looking at the yard, and it's looks like chaos out there, but it's it's all garden, so it's all productive chaos. And John, when he came to see us, he looked at it and went, there's a lot going on there, which is a polite way of saying this is a mess. See, I've got you figured out, John. But Charlie's in the process of taking that down. And if anybody here is local enough to us to come get the corrugated red tin, which is pretty, we're not going to give it away, but just make an offer, but come get it. Charlie may even be willing to cut it to size if you want to make, a raised bed. So instead of buying one of those oval raised tubs, you can come frame it with 2x4 and make your own custom bed. That's available as soon as you want it. We've got one bed taken down. Bye, Xander. Good luck with your sale tomorrow. I hope you sell everything. Anyway, so but there's a lot of people who come in here that are local to us. You just, I should put my email in a banner, I guess. Let me do that. If you're interested or if you want a piece of this jewelry, email me. So that's how you got to contact me, and we'll work it out. I take payments through PayPal. So, anything else? What's going on, everyone? It's about back to school. How many of you have kids that are getting ready to go back to school? Well, Xander, I'm already a nutso, so I probably, if it was a contest, you'd ever run for your money there. No, I don't hide it. I'm a nut. I know I'm a nut. So where was I? Oh yeah, we're taking those beds down, and the soil that those logs have turned into over when did we construct those? 2019. So 4 years ago. It took 4 years ago for huge logs, 4 years to decompose, and the soil is beautiful. I mean, really beautiful. So once we take those down, we'll probably be selling the cattle panel trellises, not all of them, but a few of them, as well. For Father's Day this year, I bought Charlie red kiwis. The red kiwis will grow up to zone 2, I think, 2 or 3.
Mm-hmm.
And they produce not a big kiwi, but a little kiwi. And we'll put those along where this bed was. And it's only going to be maybe 8 feet from the kiwi that we've had there for the last 4 years, that if the animals don't eat them all, we actually will get kiwi this year. Johnny's leaving. He doesn't talk much in real life either, but I bet he's having trouble typing. Love you, bro. Call every now and then. Yeah, those Alabama boys, they don't do a lot of talking.
Yep.
Why is everybody so quiet?
You haven't picked a subject that they want to talk about.
Yeah, I got to pick a subject you want to talk about. I know you all aren't that shy. Click on this link. Come see me. Yeah, Suzanne says, what are you doing for fall garden? Come on up on the screen and tell us what you're doing for fall.
Got okra going.
Hmm?
Got okra going. It'll go for a while.
You've got okra growing. You've got what, one plant?
No, I've went out and looked at. I got about 6.
6 plants. Are they producing?
Well, I got to go out and look for that.
Yeah. Now don't grow big old pods. Now you know with that you've got to go out every day and cut.
Yeah.
We like to grow things and then forget to harvest them.
Well, this rain in the afternoon kind of makes it difficult. Hi, little guy.
Suzanne doesn't even appear on her own channel. Hey, if I don't break the equipment with this face, you'd probably be fine. So the drought broke, and this is starting to be a pattern here. For the last several Junes, we've had like no rain for a month and intense heat. When we first moved up here in 2014, we had some rain every month. But these last few years, we definitely notice climate change and that it's drier and the heat is more intense. And of course, if it's dry and hot, it's not as humid. And Georgia is a humid state. We have a problem inside. If any of you have any tips on how to take care of mold that appears like on the doors and things, we bought a dehumidifier, but it's costing like $100 a month to run. If you have any ideas on how to get the mold to go away in this humid environment. So it's in June with the lower humidity, we don't have as much of a problem. But now that it's raining and we're getting what Charlie calls summer pattern rains, which are afternoon rains, if the humidity's kicked up, it's close to 100%. What is it out there right now? I've got this gadget that tells me 96% humidity. So someone earlier was complaining that they had 77 or 80% humidity. Come on for a visit. We'll show you humidity.
90 weather.
90 weather. I thought Gainesville, Florida was bad because, Gainesville is surrounded by swamps, and that's where we went to graduate school, was the University of Florida. And we lived close enough to the swamps there that in the spring, the bull alligators would start roaring, calling for females. And it sounded like you were in Jurassic Park. People would find alligators in their hot tubs, in their swimming pools, in their backyards. And I thought that was humid, but this is every bit as humid as Gainesville, Florida. So Suzanne's saying you had an early dry spell and it really impacted the corn. Cattle feed is shorter than in previous years. The corn shorter or the dry spell shorter, Suzanne?
Corn shorter.
Yeah.
We used to call it what? Bumblebee corn?
Charlie says they used to call that bumblebee corn. Do they call it that out where you are?
I have no idea why.
I love it. Yeah, when we get a sprinkle of rain, all the frogs would call for sex here, and I love listening to that. We have a bin that catches the condensation that comes off our air conditioner outside, and we have frogs that visit us there, and they have babies every year. So the corn is tasseling out shorter. Hey, Adrian, thanks for coming in. We're just randomly chit-chatting. You want to click that link and come up on my screen? Let's talk about what we're doing for the fall garden. I've been making rings since when we first came on tonight. Come on up, Adrian.
Gonna have to replant the kale.
Yeah, we're going to be doing, the brassicas. Broccoli, cauliflower, kale, collards. In fact, I need to start those this week. Which means getting into the greenhouse. I'm waiting for you, Adrian. I've been trying to get Adrian to come up as a guest.
Ow.
Just finished dinner. What did you have? We had fried chicken, potato salad, and carrot salad tonight. You're in your PJs. Well, we only need to see you from this up. Here's looking at you.
Seed.
Or would you rather this one? Here's looking at you. Look, I found a dragon. So she's going to be shy. So we didn't really have a topic the last couple of broadcasts, Adrian. I really tell you the truth, I really don't feel well enough to think. So let's see, we had Italian sausage, pasta, and green beans. You started your fall seed. What did you start? Anything new and exciting? You mean direct sow in the gardens for summer seeds? I guess we have time for more squash, Charlie. What about cucumbers? Will the cucumbers germinate then die in this heat?
I don't know.
Look who's
With
at
all
the
this rain, they might have problems damping off.
Hey, Tiffany. Welcome in. Welcome in. We're just randomly chit-chatting. Oh, hey, LP. He's lurking. She's looking. I don't know if you're he or she, LP. I'm sorry. I just got a notification, Tiffany, that my membership to your channel has been canceled. I've got to look into that. Yeah, LP, I need to be starting, but I've got an excuse, I think. Squash, cucumbers, green beans. We'll not try and see what works. Why not try? Okay. Okay, thank you, LP. I think most of us in here are women, except David Gray. I don't know where David went. He's not here tonight. Might show up. Everybody, I try to pick a time when there's not very many content providers online, but then there's so many of us now that you can live jump every night from broadcast to broadcast to broadcast. And it's all good. Yeah, I think at LP I've got a good excuse. Did you see that I had surgery again on the 26th of July? I go back for follow-up it was the 14th of August to see if they want to do, see if I have a fistula. If I have a fistula, that's going to lay me down for another few weeks. I told Charlie, I don't know if I'm going to make it through all this, but while I'm here, I'll continue to irritate you all and try to be active and interesting. I do need help. How am I feeling? I'm pretty rotten, if you really want to know. So, Adrian does some cucamelon. Did those cucamelon seeds I sent to you last year, did they ever produce for you? Mine never produced. I got nice vines, but no blossoms. Yeah, I wonder why that is, Adrian. I've had a lot of seed never germinate. And I get a lot of my seed, as you know, from Baker Creek. But the seeds that I have collected from my own plants have all germinated. But, I got all those varieties, 120 varieties of peppers, and didn't have very good germination. I had a large order from India this year. And I only think 1 or 2 varieties germinated from India, and I'm wondering if the mail service did something in shipping irradiation or whatever. The X-ray killed the seed, but it was a waste of money. Nikki, yay! We're just talking about random things. Nikki, do you want to come up on the screen with me, please? You see it's pinned to the top of the screen there. Nikki and Adrian and Suzanne and some of my loyal friends here. And I hope that everyone else in here will become a loyal follower. So, still no one clicking to come up. Come on, Nikki. People get tired of looking at me. But LP, yeah, I'm in a lot of pain. And that's not going to change anytime soon, I don't think. My eyeballs are stuck together. See that eyeball? It's stuck to that eyeball. You want to unstick it for me? Oh, there it goes. I got it. Everyone's excuses, they're in their PJs, Nikki. That's an old one. So all you have to do is show from here. So I'll have to make an appointment. Can we make an appointment for you to come be on the screen? Both you and Adrian will just make it a point. There's been speculation about seed being irradiated. I've seen seed come from Canada. And the ones I've tried to do germinate, some better than others, but they're not dead. Yeah, I'm not much of one on conspiracies, but I think you're right. You know, the larger seed corporations are doing all they can to get control of our food sources. Yeah, let's exchange some email. Why don't we, Adrian and Nikki? And we come up with an idea of something that people want to talk about. So, y'all, I don't know what my husband's doing.
Hold on, I'm trying to figure this out.
It's the alien. See, he's been watching too many X-Files. Just turn off the sound.
Try.
In the corner right of your computer, turn off the sound of the computer.
There we go.
Hot dang. Okay. As I say, we what was I saying? We've been watching X-Files, so so was Fox Mulder coming to visit. So is Tiffany still here? Tiffany, you want to be a guest too one week coming up?
You want to stick me on?
I love that. I love that. Oh, gosh. All right, here's a new topic. What TV shows y'all watch? We don't subscribe to any TV services for regular TV. We watch Netflix, Hulu, Prime. What else, Charlie, do we subscribe to? Ah ha ha! Oh my God!
No, I gotta turn the turn the
I gotta turn off my sound now.
Hold
There's
on.
Charlie
I
and
got
me. Oh, you see the back of me. Now, if I'd been in my underwear, they would have been able to see that. And even the possum's hiding. Yeah, everything I've gotten from that Ukrainian seed company has germinated beautifully. LP says, hi, Charlie.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out. I changed the screen when I got home, so I don't know how to.
Yeah, it's just, I do a lot of YouTube as well. So I put it on the TV in the living room because I can't sit in this office chair for long. It hurts me. But now you really see how messy the room is from another angle. So Garden State Gardener is ordering seeds from Nikotova and then regifting them. Is that what he's doing? I haven't seen him in a long time. We have found some movies on YouTube. I haven't subscribed or paid for their movie channel yet. I figure between Netflix and Hulu and Prime, that should be enough to satisfy us. Oh, you're just testing, Charlie?
You're testing thing.
Can y'all still hear me? Yeah, they say clutter is a sign of intelligence, so we're both geniuses here. Oh, look, can y'all see who's coming out of her sleeping bag? Where's David Gray? He'd get a kick out of that. Thank you, Suzanne. Yeah, it's tough at our age when you lose your job. Charlie's playing with his tools. I think everyone wants to watch the possum. Who's going to vote for possum watching? And there's Maurice in the chair. House of Dragons. I don't know what the boys are either. We get stuck on the old shows that we enjoyed years ago. What did we? NCIS, and they just came out with a new season. The 100. You all seen the 100? I'm watching Dexter right now and cracking up because it's filmed in Miami or in Fort Lauderdale where we moved from. And I'm saying, I know where that is. I know where that is. It's about a serial killer that works for the cops. So yeah, I'm sorry to hear that about Joe. I like crime dramas. You've seen the 100. Nikki loves Dexter. Yeah, I'm into Dexter quite a bit. So Charlie says, why do you watch such gruesome things? And I guess one of the reasons I'm into it is I used to be a crime reporter and I saw that stuff firsthand. And one of the shows I that is a YouTube channel is Rotten Mangoes. And this girl, Stephanie Sue, who's from here in Atlanta, she lives in Duluth, I believe, is got to be a master storyteller. And if I had an nth of her talent at storytelling, I would be a happy camper. And it's kind of what I wanted to do with my I Die channel that I haven't done anything with in the last couple of months. But she talks about true crime, and she's from Korean heritage, so she tends to focus on Asia, and her husband is Chinese. So I'm kind of learning about their cultures while I listen to her stories. But if you haven't seen Stephanie's channel and you're into storytelling and crime, and some of it's gory and some of it's just you shake your head and go, I can't believe this. Let me get the link for you. House of Dragons is prequel to Game of Thrones. You know, that's one we've never watched, Charlie, is Game of Thrones.
It doesn't come on the channels we get.
It doesn't?
No, we'd have to pay an extra $10 a month to some other service.
Yeah, that really breaks my heart, Susanna. It really does. So his son is in about the shape that I'm getting into. If you don't see me for a couple of weeks, contact Charlie because that means something happened. I really don't feel like I'm going to make it much longer. I know that sounds really crazy, but I can't help it. That's the way I feel. Let's see. Rotten Mangoes. I am getting her channel for you. I guess you call what she does a podcast. Let's see. It's a great fantasy. What's a great fantasy? Peacock shows. 2 more journalists killed in Gaza. Okay. Criminal Minds is one of my favorite things. And this is what cracks me up about Charlie. I mean, I have watched Criminal Minds, the whole series, probably 4 times, and I just started it again on Hulu. Partially because some of the episodes they have, especially the ones in Florida, are stories I either wrote about as a reporter or I was familiar with. And it's funny to see what poetic license the writers for the series take But yeah, Criminal Minds was great, and the whole skill of profiling is basically what you do in reporting, investigative reporting as well. Naked and Afraid. My neighbor up the street was on that, and it caused so many problems in her marriage.
Mm-hmm.
They ended up getting divorced. Law and Order is one of my favorite shows. What'd you like about Law and Order? Keep trying to click on you and you keep scrolling. I like Law and Order SVU. You know, I don't know if I ever saw Chicago Fire and Chicago PD. Yeah, Suzanne, do you have a favorite episode? She does so many really good. That's what everyone keeps saying, LP, but I keep having things pop up that tell me my body's failing in other ways. Yeah, she had problems with her husband after she was on that, which I don't understand, because he had to know when she was going into the competition, right? They have new episodes of Criminal Minds. I thought they shut down. Adrienne? When they lost Morgan, was that his name? Really good looking black guy, my heart sank. I mean, I like watching it just to look at him. And Charlie's laughing, but you know, I'm a softie for a pretty face. Who else? My second favorite was Gibson. And I knew that he was heading into problems when he was developing those rings under his eyes that people tend to get when they're alcoholics. And evidently, he is an alcoholic, and he was getting physically aggressive with other people on the set. And that's why Shimar left the show. And the roles that he's playing in now, like SWAT, aren't as involved as he was in Criminal Minds. Let's see. Tuber Chat is live right now, so maybe I should wrap it up. So if you want to promote your channel, go see Tuber Chat. Penelope, I know a Penelope. My best friend for like 35, 40 years was a Penelope. She was one of my editors. Started out with the New York Times, and she was a copy editor. And she told me that they used to fight on copy desks, because the process in print journalism is you write your story and you submit it, and your initial editor, your assigning editor, would give it a read, tweak it, send it to the copy desk, and someone there would read it, write the headline, tweak it a little bit more, maybe to fit space, and then send it on to print. And Monica said that they used to argue on copy desk who got to read my copy. So they'd watch the queue, and when I'd pop up, they'd grab my story, because I had a fan base at the newspaper. And she left the Night Train, which is New York Times regional news group. So we were owned by the New York Times and coached and groomed by the New York Times. She left there and she went to the Palm Beach Post in Palm Beach, Florida. Told me I had to come down for that. So she got me down. I lived with her for a little bit because Charlie was working for the Navy overseas. He went overseas for like 5 years, left me alone. And I lived with Monica for a while and wrote for the Sun Sentinel, Miami Herald, and So we were really close friends, and then she retired probably 3 or 4 years before I did, and went to take care of her mother at Alzheimer's, and she's now in Alabama. But she's a Penelope. That woman who's sharp and smart, man. She could find and fact checked, and if you wrote something that didn't make sense, man, she'd go right behind you and check out all the facts and make sure that you didn't embarrass yourself. Spencer is your favorite. Spencer's kind of an oddball, and to tell you the truth, Charlie is a Spencer.
Don't even know what Spencer is.
So he doesn't watch Criminal Minds, so he doesn't know the compliment we're giving him. Charlie, you've got what's the term? Eidetic mind? Eidetic memory. Or photographic memory, and he'll tell you he doesn't. Look at his face. He laughs whenever I say that, but when he's a computer programmer, and he would thumb through pages of code upon code, and thumb back and go back and say, okay, there's your error, as he troubleshoots other people's code. You can ask him a question and he will answer you, and he's so humble, he would say, but if you want to double check me, look in this book on this page in the third or fourth paragraph. So you tell me he doesn't have a memory like Spencer. Perhaps your body isn't so much failing as it's trying to balance, like a three-legged stool after one leg lost an inch. I'm a two-legged stool at this point. Oh, Charlie likes this show. Who out there is watching this?
They get the physics pretty horrible, though.
What'd you say?
They really screw up on the physics a bit.
Oh, he's complaining about the physics in this show.
Hey, if you're going to make it about three-body problems, then get the physics right.
LP says she thinks it'd be interesting if I wanted to talk about being a journalist and what that entails. I don't know how many of you want to hear about my adventures as a journalist. I've done print journalism, started out with the New York Times chain, interned in Washington, D.C. for a Middle East policy magazine. So Islam in the Middle East was kind of my niche, or niche, if you want to say it that way. Ended up with the New York Times paper. Then I did radio for a while. Then I went back to newspapers. And then I made some documentaries, and then I ended up at CBS News in Miami as a producer. But I can go over all that if you really want to hear about it. Does the possum go outside? Oh, look, she came out. I occasionally take her out, but this particular animal really doesn't want to be handled. Her hind legs are deformed, so she has trouble moving around. And since my heart problems, I have a hard time lifting her up. I still can't lean over into that cage and lift her up. So since I've had heart problems, she's basically been cage bound. I've taken her out twice, and she'll walk around the room here and then come back and ask to go back up there. So Suzanne says she would. When I have babies that I'm rehabbing, and I'm going to say it and it's going to backfire, I'm not doing this anymore. She's my last animal, my last possum. And every time I say that out loud, I have some show up. Anyway, don't jinx me. But when I have babies, part of the rehab process is when you get them old enough so they need to start foraging for food, they go outside in a enclosed, safe environment where they could catch bugs and lizards and get used to the environment. They do need sunshine, though they sleep most of the day. So Suzanne, what link was the Rotten Mango link? What did that come up? I just randomly grabbed one. Yeah, she gets fresh air every now and then. I have to lift her up in her sleeping bag. Well, thank you, LP. I do have a story I could tell you all about the time I was hunted by a Siberian tiger. True story. Maybe I'll tell you that next time. I'll do it under header, "The Tiger is going to get me," or something like that. But if you're into Criminal Minds, and we've gotten off topic for the shows, there's a couple of... I cut my teeth as a young reporter on the Gainesville student murders. Anyone here remember the Gainesville, Florida student murders? Oh, the Korean Death Mall building collapse. Yeah, that, I bet that goes on here in this country more than we know. Yeah. Yeah, I could talk about that. I need to do an episode of I Died and talk about my near-death experience, where I had conversation with God. I really did. Honest, voice God's honor. And I need to do that. It's just such an emotional story that's my next episode. I've just got to get myself in the right headspace to do that. So back to TV shows. Let's see. No one's watching the Three Body Problem.
Yeah, evidently not.
Adrian likes Spencer. Adrian, you got real quiet all of a sudden. Let's see. How about you, Nikki? You still here? Write them down. Yeah. Rings of Power. Tell us, what is that about?
Oh, that's a good one.
LP says she's not seeing the Three Body Problem. Charlie started to get me into it, but it's getting weird, so it's kind of...
It's an alien invasion.
It's an alien invasion, he says.
Although
yeah, I got you, LP.
The invasion isn't supposed to occur for 400 years.
Yeah, one's supposed to... Are you giving away the plot? Do they come quicker than 400 years?
No.
Speaking about the Three Body Problem, I think Rotten Mango did a piece on it recently, talking about how the guy that came up with the idea for the Three Body Problem was murdered.
Oh yeah.
Quite violently. And she does... Maybe if you haven't heard of the Three Body Problem, go over to Rotten Mango. We've got the link I put somewhere in the text here. Let's see if I still have it. I'll paste it again. Yeah. There's a link too if you didn't grab the link for Rotten Mango. But look for Three Body Problem. And Stephanie, listen to Stephanie tell that story. I think she did a 2-parter on it. And I do have to warn you, her podcast can be like 2 hours long. But that's what got me willing to watch it with Charlie. And he was already 2/3 of the way through the series, and he started it over for me. It is a crazy backstory.
Yeah.
It is a crazy. So LP, if you haven't watched Rotten Mango, at least go look up that episode. You might be, your jaw will be in your lap. And if you don't mind coming back and let me know what you think, Stephanie. She, as I say, she's the most talented storyteller I've ever seen. And all it is her talking like me for this channel, mostly for the live broadcast. It's me. And, I know I get tired of seeing my face, but I don't get tired of her. And then she's got a second channel that, what does she call it? It might be under Stephanie Sue, where she's bubbly and giggly and gossipy. And that's, I think, more for younger folk. But I watch that channel of hers occasionally and just shake my head. Because it's more of a gossip girl chat type thing, but her perspective and her culture is different than mine. So I enjoy people from other cultures just listening to what she finds amusing and thinking, man, are you young? The Rings of Power Season 2 debuts in Prime Video on August 29th. Oh, that'd be cool. I don't know if she's aware of my existence. But if you make a comment, and let her know about the channel, maybe she'll come visit the channel. That would be an interesting person to have up on as a guest. But she's probably way too busy and way too famous to want to spend time with me, even though we're basically neighbors. But as I say, if I had an nth of her talent in storytelling, I'm a very, very good storyteller with the written word. And when I produce my documentaries, I won awards. But talking off the cuff or telling things verbally, that's really a skill I never developed. And because I don't pronounce half my words correctly, I wasn't that good at radio. So I was the news director at 97.3 FM Sky News, which broadcasts out of Gainesville, Florida. I was their first news director. And when my anchors would call in sick, I'd have to go on the air, and I was always being corrected on my pronunciation because I'm a writer. I'm not a speaker, but I tell people, they ask me why I never went into broadcast journalism as an on camera. And my standard answer is because I've got the face for radio. Oh, Rotten Mango, Miss Mango Butt, and Stephanie Sue are all her channels. Very good. Suzanne, you amaze me. I wish I could pay you. I'm going to send you some jewelry. Give it away if you don't like it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Nikki's laughing at me. I've got the face for radio. Yeah, and that's probably why I'm not monetized yet. People don't watch my videos. They look at my face and they go, pfft. Anyway. And some of my videos have gotten quite a few views, and my shorts seem to be popular, especially if it's a dog. Charlie's all excited about this show. Stop what, Nikki? I'm a realist. I'm a truth speaker, and it got me in trouble with one of our mutual friends. He's not talking to me now, and he's blocked me. I have a really good track record with pissing people off, and I don't mean to. Yeah, so if I ever piss you off, I'm sorry in advance. Just don't leave me. I have issues. So, okay, so is that enough blathering for one night, do you think? So anyone else want to talk about a show or two? Are you good at that too? You piss people off? Yeah, I just, come off too strong, I guess. I don't know. It's was I that strong before I became a journalist, Charlie, or did I develop my edge?
You've always been a strong woman.
He says I've always been a strong woman. When he was courting me, y'all, He used to play Cat Stevens. I'm looking for a hard-headed woman. Are you all familiar with that song? And he'd point to me and he says, "You're my hard-headed woman." I mean, be careful what you ask for.
Hey, I got Cat Stevens on my Facebook page, so you know.
I do. I've got Cat Stevens on my Facebook page. His name now is Yosef Islam since he converted. Now, that's a story, a conversion story.
I can't believe how old he is, though.
And Charlie's saying, can't believe how old he is. I think he's still making babies. I know he's got grandchildren. He just had a grandchild born on his birthday, which I thought was interesting. Yeah. I tell people, you know, I'm in my 60s. If I haven't learned tact by now, I'm never going to. And I've never been one never been tactful. But you know what? When I make friends, they're friends for life. So people who get to know me and look past the hard exterior tend to be loyal friends. And I do tend to get along better with people from other cultures, who speak other languages, who appreciate the directness. So I may not have a lot of close personal friends, but the ones I have, I've had for life. Yeah, well, what I said was, I was asking about internet, something I had said on someone's broadcast that got a reaction I wasn't prepared for. And I was saying, what did I do wrong? And he was explaining to me through email about netiquette, which I'm not into popular culture. And I made the comment, I don't live online, so I don't really know the nuances of these things. And he says it's been around since the 80s. And I said, well, I don't live online. And he took that really personally. He hasn't spoken to me since, which breaks my heart. And if he tunes into this, I sent him a I'm sorry card with a fat little English bulldog, kind of looks like me. I haven't heard from him, but I love you. If you tune into this, and I wish you'd come back. Take my apology. Yeah, that's me. But you know that, Nikki. Nikki, you and I have had some heart-to-heart talks. Maybe that's why you still love me. Please don't leave me. Etiquette, what? Yeah. Yeah, and it's like I never got the rule book. I never got the memo that listed what you do and you don't do. And so occasionally I'll step in it. It's why I did that little episode. I don't know if you tuned into my episode when I did a broad apology to everyone that enlisted my triggers. You know, there's certain things that will trigger me, like killing animals. And it's kind of weird since I've had my near-death experience and getting older and being through some pretty traumatic health issues. I've become very sensitive to other life energy. And when I see people hunting and killing animals just because they want to hunt, I see that as the utmost cruelty. The only thing that's worse is acts of indiscriminate violence like we're seeing in Palestine right now. But it triggers me, and I don't react well. When I see dead animals on the road, I say prayers, and I feel pain. I feel pain watching the planet die. So these are things that trigger me, and all the tact goes out. You know, so I have learned when I'm on other people's channels now, when they talk about killing animals, to just leave the channel. So that's my way of handling it. Okay. you talking about? I walked away a minute. You'll have to guess. Got me on the TV. Oh my God. I'm not wrong in feeling what, LP? Yeah, I'm passionate. I am passionate. Yeah, there's a news analyst that I discovered a couple of years ago that when I first stumbled across him, I said, God, he looks familiar. And it's Bo with the Fifth Column. And he's a lot younger. I would say he's probably late 30s, early 40s, but he does news analysis and he's spot on. And he talked about having been a journalist and in North Florida and in Florida. And I'm like, I think I've been in events covering the same events as he. And he started with all the news and the news cycle that's going on, all the crazy things that are happening. He was making 5, 6, 7 videos a day. Then he opened another channel. He does relief work when the hurricanes come through. And I sent him a note and I said, Bo, you're going to burn out. Because those of us who are content providers know this is the job. And to be working at that pace like you're working in a newsroom and trying to stay on top of everything that's going on, you're going to burn out. And he popped up yesterday or the day before, and he says, I've got to step away from this. And now his wife is, I think, I caught her video in his place today, and she's saying he won't be back. And it breaks my heart because I can totally relate to the type A personality. When you work in news, it's go, go, go. Always deadlines, always deadlines. You always have pressure to stay up to date on every topic, not just your pet topics, but everything that's going on, because we're all woven together. Humanity, life, animals, the planet, politics, it's all woven together. And as a journalist, your type A personality, the deadline pressure and the adrenaline flow, you get addicted to it. And news becomes not what you do, but who you are. And he had to step away. And so I just wrote them a little letter and told them that now that she's going to need to watch him for heart attacks, because when you step down off that adrenaline, your body is so used to that passion and that pace that the letdown can kill you. And I think going cold turkey is probably a mistake. I mean, drop all your channels but one and cut back on your broadcast. But that's just me. I just hope he's okay. But he exactly, LP. I'm concerned for him and his health. But if you look him up, he looks like your stereotypical white redneck with a bushy beard, a bushman from the mountains, ball cap on. And you look at him and you go, okay, here comes the nonsense. And he's not. He's totally opposite of what his appearance says. And that's one of the things I found so intriguing about him. So Bo, the Fifth Column, you'll have to go look at his older videos because he's not going to be making them anymore. His wife's going to take over. I'll post that link if you're interested. Let's see. Look at the ones before she appears. This is wife. Just took over. I don't know if she's going to be able to keep the following that he had. It is stressful, Nikki, but it's not for everyone, but you've got OCD, but I'm ADD. Is that the right term? Where my brain bounces from topic to topic to topic, and I can do 5 or 6 things at once. Like when I was doing reporting, I had 15 stories going at the same time, and I could switch from this to that to this to that and make deadline. I wrote 28 stories a week, which is absurd. Most reporters do 5. But you get addicted to the pace and being stimulated all the time, and it's like a drug. And Charlie will tell you, I was bouncing off the walls. Now I bounce off the walls trying to stay active in my retirement. So you're addicted to the stress. So you've seen the first time I saw a post, I thought, but I enjoyed his content. Yeah, it was totally unexpected what he had to say, right? He's very progressive. Well, we're not going to be able to see him anymore. He's not coming back on camera. His wife is going to take over, and God bless her, but she's not a journalist. And I wish them well. I hope they weren't making a living off their YouTube, because I don't know how it will turn out for them. So, with that said, we've been on an hour and a half. I can see how it can be very exciting and fulfilling as well. I'm too disorganized and not good at finishing projects. We've gotten that way. We've got so many things here on the homestead that are all done except for that last little step, and we walk away from it, and it makes me crazy, Charlie.
As she looks at me.
Yeah. Yeah, and so let's, I'm going to get together with you, Indiana Backyard Gardener, and Nikki, and anyone else who wants to come up on the panel. Shoot me an email, please, at the email that's scrolling at the bottom of the screen. And let's schedule you to come in and talk about things. And we can get together. And so maybe my next broadcast, which is the 3rd Thursday of the month. What's the 3rd Thursday this month? It is the 15th. Let's shoot for the 15th for the tiger story. And I'll tell you about the time I was stalked by a Siberian tiger. Nikki, love you, dear. Thank you. We'll see you again, hopefully. Oh, Nikki, if you're still here, are you doing the chat on Monday? I'll try to get your next live. Okay, so everyone, thank you for coming in. I'm not working, so I don't have a lot of money to buy prizes. Maybe I'll do that once a month on the second broadcast. I'll do 3 prizes. I still have to send out the prizes that I promised right before I had my heart attack. One of the ladies won a mushroom bag, and it got so hot. If you're watching, I think it was Gwen. Gwen, it's too hot to send you the mushroom bag. The spawn will die in the heat. So we'll wait till it's cooler to send that to you. But I've got a couple of packages to seed. What are you showing? Oh, that's a short we're going to load. Charlie went out to do some grocery shopping today.
Just trying to see if it'll come across.
Yeah. And when he came out of the grocery store, it was raining so hard that the parking lot flooded halfway up the wheels of the cars. Yeah, I know, Adrian. I didn't know she had switched nights either, and that's Charlie's birthday cake for me. It was actually a brownie with frosting. Um,
I had to make the frosting because I accidentally dumped the brownie on top of the stove.
yeah, it was a flash flood. So we came home and I was laying down to try to rest before this tonight. And he lay down on the bed and I reached over to pat his bottom and he was soaking wet. I'm like, you're wet. Get out of bed, change. Anyhow, everyone, thank you for coming. And I love each and every one of you, and I appreciate you taking the time and spending it with me, especially when we're rambling like this. And thank you, Charlie, for coming up on the screen, and the kitten and the possum for joining us. And we'll try to get some guests on here to speak. Until next time, tell everyone that you love them daily, because you never know when you're going to get another chance. And until next time, be good, be well. We'll see you.
Bye.
You too, LP. Thank you so much.